Hi, we're Sparky Youth and we're back again with our F52 series. Today we're going to be continuing on our topic of change and find some other new ideas about it. I'm Zachary.
And I'm Jeremy. So F52 is a book made by Joel Holm and we are doing number 4 on the series.
So last week we challenged you guys to find an area of your life where you weren't doing things with the purpose or desire that God intended you for do to serve His kingdom. Jeremy, what did you do for that challenge?
So last week we were to do the purpose on it. We were to do something where we were from the opposite direction of God, right?
Yes.
Okay. So last week what happened to me was I was playing games and then I was starting to get mad at people. And then instead of being like nicer to them, I was really mad and then I became very mean. So I thought that instead I should be nicer. And then so I became nicer and then we won the game.
Oh, that's pretty cool. For me, what I did was I was at school at lunch talking with my friends. And we're talking about like what we would do in the future and maybe what about colleges and things like that. And then I realized that I was focused on thinking about getting into college and doing things like after school and stuff. And I forgot about keeping God into the future too. So I decided to reroute things and just try to find out what I can do in the future that has God in it too, or add God into it.
That's cool. So for our change week 4, we have our main verse, which is Luke 22:26. But you are not to be like that. Instead, the greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules is like the one who serves.
So this verse goes with the topic that we're going to be talking about, which is Jesus' command to become like the least. Basically what happened was all the disciples are arguing about who was the greatest disciple and who served Jesus the most, when Jesus told them that this is wrong and you should be trying to become humble and to show who's the least, not the greatest.
So the disciples started shifting away from God, but then instead they should be shifting towards Him. So at the end he says that you're supposed to serve the people who serve you instead of just accepting what they serve to you.
Basically what the disciples had was a lot of pride. Pride is basically having a lot of like self-arrogance, where you think that everything should circle around you and you do your actions based on trying to benefit yourself, which is wrong from what Jesus teaches.
So one of the additional verses is Mark 10:45. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give His life as a ransom for many.
One more verse is Philippians 2:1-4. Therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from His love, if any common sharing in the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and of one mind. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value of others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but to each of you to their own interests of the others.
Another verse is Proverbs 11:2. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom.
And one final verse is Ephesians 6:7-8. Serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord, not people, because you know that the Lord will reward each one for whatever good they do, whether they are slave or free.
So this week's action is to find someone who serves you and instead try to serve them. It could be anyone from like a clerk in the grocery store, or it could be someone who works below you.
Yeah, with how society works, it's kind of like a ladder or like a food chain where everyone wants to try to get to the top. But Jesus says that you should try to serve others first before yourself. So reverse the chain and try to look at the things from the bottom. And at the end of every day, just assess how you did and look at your heart. So we'll see you next week.
Bye.